Hi everyone! Welcome to our newest tutorial video. You're probably watching this video because you just received your matte lip kit and you want a little help getting started. First, let's see what all is inside of your kit. Everything you need is already included. There's a mixing beaker, a scooping and stirring spatula, a fine-tipped filling syringe, and a mini scoop. You'll also find 10 10-milliliter liquid lipstick tubes. All of our flavors that we include are all natural flavor oils. There's vanilla bean, champagne, and watermelon basil. The newest addition to our matte lip kits are these paste colors. We included these specifically for our matte lip kits because they work so much better than the liquids with this lipstick base. They're over twice as concentrated as the liquids, which is very important for creating opaque, bold, matte liquid lipsticks. They also contain much less oil, which can be problematic in the matte lipstick base because that lipstick is mostly silicones. Oil and silicone does not really work well together. That is why we have included the paste. And there's your pouch of lip base as well. You get 3.75 ounces, which is enough to fill all 10 tubes. To get started, you'll grab your measuring beaker. Just start to squeeze out just about 10 milliliters of lipstick base. There are markings on the side of the cup so you know how much you are adding in. It can be a little more, a little less, and it's not a huge deal. Don't be afraid to tap it down into the bottom of the cup as you go as well. Once you have your 10 milliliters, it's time to get mixing. Now, working with the paste, it's much harder to measure these because they don't go by drops, but that amount there, it's about a dime size amount, is about 1 gram or 1 milliliters worth of paste. So about 10%. This is roughly what you need to create a really rich and opaque matte liquid lipstick. Because our pastes are much thicker, it's very important that you thoroughly stir them into your lipstick base. So take your time mixing. Right here, I'm using True Red. I wanted more of a cranberry color, so I'm adding just a tiny little bit of black paste to this mixture. You'll see that each paste does have a slightly different texture, and that's just due to the different chemical makeup of each color. If I were to add any more black to this, it would have gotten very, very dark, but it turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. Here I'm adding 3 drops of champagne flavor oil, which is the perfect amount for this base for me. Thoroughly stir in your flavor. I always make sure that I swatch my lip color before I fill the tube. If I were you, I would do this throughout your blending process so you know that it's as opaque as you would like it to be. I was very happy with this color, so I'm moving on to my syringe. I always cut the tip off of our syringes just so they flow out a little bit easier when I'm filling. You don't have to trim that much, you don't have to trim it at all. The fine tip does make it so you can get in even the smallest openings of a variety of different lip tubes, but I always trim off a little bit. It makes filling a little bit easier. Would also recommend that you put your lipstick base in through the top of the syringe as I'm doing here. If you try to suction it through the tip, you're going to have a hard time. It's not really meant to be done that way. So you're going to have to scoop it through the top. This takes a little bit of time. You're going to have to tap it down into the bottom of the syringe as well, but it is worth the trouble. You'll see here that I also put a paper towel down on my workspace because things can start to get a little messy once you get into the filling phase of your lipstick making process. We're almost done, a few more scoops to go. All right, time to fill the tube. We do ship our tubes assembled, and you can see that the wiper is already inserted into the tube, which is where the fine-tipped syringe really does come in handy because that is a very small opening there. When you're filling, you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of an air gap from the tip of the syringe into the wiper area of the tube. You can see even I had a little bit spill out there because there wasn't enough airflow to let the lipstick get into the tube. So don't push the syringe deep into the tube. You're going to have issues with that. We're going to do some more tapping as well. You want to make sure that everything gets into the bottom of that lip tube. So take your time with this process. It really pays off to just be patient and to slowly fill each tube as you're going. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you're inserting the wand into the lip tube, it takes up more space in the tube than you would imagine. It's very important that you leave a little bit of a gap at the top of your tube. I probably should have left even a little bit more of a gap here, but I wanted to use that last little bit of lipstick. But if you don't leave a gap, your lipstick is going to shoot out the top of your tube and you're not going to be able to close it. It's going to get messy. If that does happen to you, don't worry about it. Just take the wand back out, wipe it off. That should make more room, and then you can insert the wand again and you're good to go. Hope